fungi are everywhere. The nice thing about cultivating mushrooms is that we can choose our preferred fungi so that we can do more foraging instead of buying. We're doing 4 cultures of different substrates. We have our oyster mushrooms on logs, our King Stropharia on wood chips, our oyster mushrooms on coffee grounds, and our oyster mushrooms on straw. We're going to mix coffee grounds to oyster mushroom mycelium a 10-to-1 ratio in favor of coffee grounds. So there's going to be 10 more times coffee grounds than mycelium. And for all of our operations today, we're going to deal in half increments. We're going to work with half the amount initially and then add the other half amount to the mix. Does that make sense? Okay, so which is the coffee ground? The smaller one. The smaller one. Okay. Someone who hasn't washed their hands can open up. And for someone who has washed their hands, reach in. So we're adding 1/10 of the volume of the coffee grounds.
Okay, so that's probably
So I'd take
2 cups?
maybe a half a hand. Yeah.
Okay.
We also want to crumble the mycelium as we add it to the material. Let's add maybe that amount again.
Okay.
Half, 10%. The other half.
The nice thing about mycelium is that it can hold its breath for a while. So we're going to let the bag hold its breath for a full week, 7 days. By that time, you'll start to see the mycelium extend itself across the coffee grounds. The next phase of the operation involves inoculating logs. Those are the logs in the back of my truck that I got from the volcano area. These are called plungers.
Plungers? They're like hypodermic needles.
Kinda, sorta.
Where do you buy them?
These are purchased from a place in the Midwest called Field and Forest Products. They're the main mushroom spawn seller in the Midwest. They're based out of Wisconsin. I'll be the driller of the holes. Then you guys will plunge the plunger into a yogurt container that Paula is cleaning for us right now. That will be filled with sawdust. That will then insert the sawdust using the tool into the holes I've made in the logs. Then we'll cap the top of the logs with wax, like I showed you in the PowerPoint.
So the sawdust is inoculated already?
It is pre-inoculated, yep.
And has it been sitting around, or is it like just done today? The inoculated sawdust?
It's been hanging out for about a week, which is just perfect.
And that's how you can purchase it? You can purchase inoculated sawdust?
You can purchase inoculated sawdust for this purpose, and that's, unless you're growing your own dowel spawn, that's a cheaper way to go. These cost about $30, but they last forever. They're just indestructible. And this is what the angle grinder adapter looks like. This is the adapter piece. And then you put a specific drill bit that's also purchased from that Field and Forests company in the Midwest on the tip. How long will this log take to fruit out mushrooms? 6 months minimum, preferably a full year.
Okay.
And the way to induce these mushrooms to fruit is to soak them for a full 24 hours in water. If you have one of those handy dandy 55-gallon drums from Meadow Gold, that's a good vessel for soaking it.
Or a bathtub.
Then wax one end here, and if you guys opt for putting the log in the ground, you guys will not need to wax the other end. And if you do the standalone log, you should wax the other end.
think that was dirty?
Yep.
Flip it to the other side.
Cleaning the pool so that we can put the pasteurized straw in here to mix the sawdust of the oyster substrate into here.
Okay.
That's the next game we're going to play.
Coffee in 2 weeks in straw?
How long do we keep it in the coffee?
Lovely. Perfect.
You'll see all the white grow out of it. So you'll see it growing.
And you see the mycelium starting to spread.
You guys can all gather around. We're going to need bag holders, straw, mycelium mixers, and labelers at a certain point. Does anyone else want to wash their hands real quick?
Of course they do.
Come on. You can grab the first hand. I'm going to sprinkle it over that pile. Like you're
Feeding chickens.
feeding chickens or making a sourdough culture. Spread it as evenly as possible over the straw.
Just this side?
Yep, just that side. And if you see any chunks, we want to break up the chunks. I see a chunk
They
there.
seem to love sweat. Like they go right for my boot. And
Are-
it's like
The end goal that we're aiming for with this, you guys might want to come a bit closer, is to have a grainy feeling when we are touching each of the straw shafts. You want to feel the sawdust grains when you come into contact with the straw shaft. For identification of mushrooms, you need to take spore prints. Mushrooms release different colored spores, which aids in the identification process. Sometimes the spores are black or white, sometimes red or green. You can't always tell what the specific mushroom is just by looking at it. You have to do a spore print.
So black is no.
Sometimes black means yay. And sometimes the most delicious mushrooms are the most poisonous.
Are you going to talk to us about poisoning?
No.
Another workshop.
Nope.
Okay, I see some chunks there. Let's break those chunks up. All right, we need some baggers.
I'll bag.
So much of this.
Good job, someone's got to do it.
closing the bag.
Let's make sure that the bag stuffer stuffs the straw in quite a bit. I think some of those could even be stuffed even further.
Okay. Sean, you want to stuff those further?
So just try to stuff it
All the
slightly
way to
further
the
down.
top.
Well, that's probably good enough.
Test the strength of
Yeah,
that.
you stuffed it pretty tight.
You can take some of that out. Pretty much in all of these inoculation endeavors, the ratio is 10 to 1. 10 parts substrate to 1 part spawn. That ratio holds true for pretty much everything. Ideally, we would be using wood chips that are about a month old at most, because something else will most likely colonize the wood chips after that. Let's fill the bucket up halfway with wood chips, a quarter of the way, and then we'll mix it up.
That bucket?
Yep, that there bucket. What do you guys see in this bag? Wood chips! Wood chips. This only grows on wood chips and or straw. It prefers just growing on wood chips though. But if we wanted to, we could add some dry straw into the mix if we wanted to. I want to have a good healthy handful of this added to 10 more times wood chips. Okay, we need one person who has clean hands.
I just washed the bucket, so I guess I'm
Promise? Got on it?
that's on there.
How does that smell? You do smell
Good.
Can I smell it?
Yeah. Take a hit.
That smells like food.
Yeah, I know.
Mm-hmm.
It does, doesn't it?
The mushroom
Like
that emerges.
It smells like fresh bread.
It smells like a salad.
It really does. You got it.
Is that enough
Fresh
in there?
bread.
Yep, that's perfect. Mix it up.
My head in there. Please do.
Just on the surface?
All the way through, and then we'll probably add another handful. One more handful.
With my hand that was just in there?
Actually,
I know, I don't have enough hands. I need more hands.
and we'll break up those wood chip clumps. And there's the other method is the shake and bake method, which I'm demonstrating right now. In terms of moisture content, when you're growing out your spawn in a bucket like this or in a plastic tub, that also works very well. You want to have a moisture content like that of a wrung out sponge. You want to put a healthy layer of cardboard as a protective layer between the contaminated soil and our preferably contaminated wood chips.
So we'll actually see mushrooms grow on top of this?
Mushrooms will grow on top of it and through the cardboard too.
Excellent.
Okay, great.
Oh, on phone?
And then they'll start invading other soil in your garden, right?
In the best possible way.
I know.
Our lovely workers here are exposing the corrugations in the cardboard. And we'll sandwich the corrugations in between layers of King Stropharia mycelium. And because
So we need more water now. Right?
yep, we want to have each layer nicely moistened. The nice thing about corrugation in cardboard is that there's a lot more surface area than in non-corrugated cardboard. You'll take a wood chip, place it every 8 inches around.
Just in a handful pile?
Preferably one wood chip a piece.
Oh, just a chip.
Yeah. This is a method we can use with stem butts also. Stem butts are what you see when you purchase one of the Hamakua mushrooms. They usually sell the Ali'i oyster mushrooms. You look at the bottom of where they cut and you can sometimes see little white fuzz. Has anyone seen that?
Yeah.
That's the stem butt. You can cut 2 inches further above that stem butt and use that as an inoculation tool like we're doing right now.
And how long will they take to come up?
They'll move laterally initially so that they can feed into the nice moist environment we're creating for them. It'll take, that's not good.
Okay.
Take this layer, you guys are free to join me, this doesn't require sterile hands. Plop these layers down like so. And maintaining moisture content throughout is very important. And then in a month or so, 1 month hence, you'll start to see the primordia, the miniature mushrooms emerge from the straw. The bag of straw should be fairly white. It might take a full 2 months. And the bag of straw cannot be moved on to other material, regrettably. The straw is mainly consumed by the mycelium.
Finished product.
It's the finished product. But once the mushrooms emerge, you'll want to add about half a teaspoon of water every day. And I included a handout in the course packet that details that. All right. Thanks so much for coming.
Thank you.
And there's more to come in future workshops.